Okay. So here, this is your Azure here. This is your Azure. As I have told you, in cloud computing, any type of applications, databases, networking, DevOps, testing, whatever you want to do has to be done only within cloud, but not on-premise. Okay. But in case if you are following the concept of a hybrid computing, what you do is that you do something within cloud as well as you do something within on-premise also as well. Okay. But majority of the things what you plan to do that has to be done within your cloud only. Okay, so as I told you that there are three types of cloud service providers. One happens to be your Azure, second happens to be your AWS, and third one happens to be your Google Cloud, which are the major key players within your major key players within your cloud computing basically. Okay, we are here to explore all the data services that are really required to create your data engineering applications and analytical applications within Azure Cloud. Okay, so as a part of the course, we'll be covering the complete end-to-end Azure fundamentals, Azure data fundamentals, Azure data engineering concepts, along with the Databricks and Power BI. These are all the things that are going to be covered. Okay, and as the part of the course, you'll be covered AG 900. Okay, DP 900 along with the DP 203 certifications are also going to be covered in this particular course curriculum. Okay, those things also I have told you earlier. Those things also I have told you earlier. Now, what we want to do is, I really don't want to go monotonously with respect to the theory, but what I want to do is that I want to make sure that you guys create a free trial account. Okay, make sure that you should have the option of exploring these options within this Azure portal. Get handy with respect to this one and start moving forward. That is the thing that I want to do. And one more thing I have told you is yesterday was the first class and this is the second class. Okay. One more thing that what I have told you is in Azure, we are having something like 5 categories of core services. What are those 5 categories? The first category, what you are having here is compute. The second category is storage. The third category is database. Fourth category is networking. And fifth category is what? What is the fifth category that we are having?
Security.
Yeah,
Security.
category what you're having here is security. These are all the 5 categories that we want to explore in Azure. Okay. Now, so we want to learn, connect, and explore. We want to connect into Azure. We want to learn the concepts, and then we want to explore this particular portal. Okay. Already, I have created a free trial account. Okay. Creating a free trial account is a very easy process. I'll be giving you 5 minutes of time, 5 to 10 minutes of time. Okay. I want everyone to create this particular free trial account using your debit card or credit card and mentioning your phone number and everything. And then I want you to log into your portal. So what I'm going to do is that when I go on to this particular sign in, what is going to have is that it is going to ask me for this particular issue. And here I have signed in here. You see here, how much is here? $200 credit is remaining. And here one has remaining a credit of 200 and then upgrade to pay as you go subscription that is still in. Okay. So I'll give 5 minutes of time. Can you guys go ahead and then create this free trial account and then get back to me? Is it something that can be done from your side, guys?
Yes.
One question. This free trial account will expire after 1 month, right? So post that we will not be able to access this, right?
Free trial account will not expire. Free trial account will be there. But at the time, what it will do is that it will ask you to upgrade to this pay as you go subscription. And it will not expire.
Oh, okay.
Can you please create that free trial account now?
Sure.
Please do that one. I'll wait. In the meantime, I'll talk to the other people here. Lakshmi, welcome. Aishwarya, welcome. See, we have the people across the globe. Aishwarya is from where? Australia, right?
Yeah, I'm from
Yeah.
Australia.
Aishwarya is from Australia, and there are people from India, and then we have the people from US also as well. Okay. So this particular course, while I'm talking, I want you to complete that free trial creation and let me know whether you are able to see this particular portal or not. Okay. Don't worry that your money is not going to be consumed because you will be in the free trial version only. Even though if you give a credit card or debit card, you will not be billed or you will not be charged. Kindly go ahead and then create that account, please. Okay. So here we are.
Ravi garu, sorry, I just joined. So it's like Azure, we have to go and subscribe for a free trial in Azure
Okay.
portal. You are saying?
Yeah. ఇప్పుడు
Okay.
ఒక నిమిషం నేను చూపిస్తాను మీకు కూడా ఒకసారి. While you are seeing here itself, I'll go to this one, open this new incognito window, and then what it is that I'll mention something like azure.com.
Okay.
What it is asking is that it is asking you try Azure for free. Please open this one.
Okay, sure. Got it.
It will be asking you something like start free. Okay. Start this one for free.
Yeah.
When you start this one free, it will be asking you sign in. It will be asking you here. Sign in. I'm not sure whether it will create using Google account or not, but you need to have some Outlook or something of that sort. Suppose if I try to give something like ravi.holap@gmail.com.
I think we can do with a GitHub account also. Right.
And then we mention this one as scientist. It is asking me to log in into this one. This is the problem of this one. Already a Microsoft account. Please tell a different account. Get a new mail address. At the rate of outlook.com. Mention something like Azure Databricks Power BI. Azure Databricks Power BI at the rate of. I think I can't use this in current. What's this one? We'll go here, right? Here's something like Azure. Has anybody created?
I did it, but it didn't ask me credit card details. It directly logged in.
Then it's the problem. Here it is asking you something like use another account. Has anybody completed this sign-in process?
Yes, Ravi. I managed to complete it. I've
Did you give
created.
the credit card details and all?
Yes, it asked my credit card details.
Because it will ask you for the identity, the phone number, and all those things it is asking, right?
Yes.
Basically.
Phone number and address, everything. Yes.
Yeah, Kishore, thank you so much for doing that one, Kishore. Appreciate it. Prashant garu మీరు క్రియేట్ చేశారా?
యా యాక్చువల్లీ ఇంతకుముందు ఉన్న ఒక హాట్‌మెయిల్ అకౌంట్ లింక్ చేసిందండి. సో నాకు క్రెడిట్ కార్డ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఏమేమి తీసుకోలేదు. జస్ట్
లేదు లేదు.
ఐయామ్ ఏబుల్ టు క్రియేట్
అలా
విత్
కనుక
మై
మీరు చేస్తే యూ విల్ నాట్ బి ఏబుల్ టు డూ ఎనీథింగ్. ఓకే.
ఏంటండి?
If you don't log in with the help of the, if you don't create your account with the help of the user ID and password and that identity credentials, credit card credentials, okay, you will not be able to do anything. Obviously, you have to put your credit card details into that one to make sure that you will be able to utilize all these particular services basically. Okay.
It seems like it created one VM for me. If you don't mind, can I share my screen?
ఇప్పుడు కాదులేండి, later. Okay. Because I need to make you the host and then I need to take it back. We'll see later. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the place where we come here. This is the place where we come here. So two things that you need to understand is the free trial account will be there for 30 days. Okay. Within those particular 30 days, suppose free trial account will be there for 30 days, right? Azure.com. When you mention free trial account will be there for 30 days. Within that 30 days, if you are not able to consume those $200 of credit that has been given to you, that credit will expire. Okay. Then what happens is that your account, what you are having, will be asked to upgrade to pay as you go. Will be asked to upgrade to pay as you go. Okay. While you do that pay as you go, automatically what happens is that you will be charged based on your credit card or the debit card information what you are mentioning over there. That is one thing that you need to understand. Okay. So this is the place where you are having something called as this Azure Global Architecture. Important. Azure Global Architecture. Okay. So if you want to understand what is this Azure Global Architecture, explore the globe. It will tell you here. What is this Azure Global Architecture? What is the Azure Data Center region and all these particular things that you need to understand. As I have told you, right? As I told you, there are 4 to 5 core services that you need to explore in order to start working with respect to your Azure Data Engineering. Okay. So in that particular part, the first thing what we do is that we go to this part and then let us come to this particular concept, which is nothing but your 1 minute. See this part here. I'm going to start sharing a different screen. Please hold on. This slideshow. Click on this slideshow here. Share screen, which is going to be a share screen, and then share this one. Okay, so I'm going to share it from the current slide. So we need to understand this particular pattern. Where are we here? We are here in this geography. You see here, geography is India. You have something like EUS, NU, and then CA. These are all the different geographies what you're having here. These geographies are classified into different regions. Okay, and these regions what you're having here are classified into these different availability zones. Okay, within each and every availability zone, what you're having is that you're having these data centers that exist. So from here, this is the way your hierarchy is going to be built up. This is the place from your place where your hierarchy is going to be built up in this particular case here. So we start with the geography, and the geography is going to have a couple of regions. Regions are going to have these availability zones, And within the availability zones, you're going to have these data centers. And in the data centers, you're going to have something called as availability set and then fault domains. That means that this is the technology that you need to understand in order to make sure you start working with Azure. So the first thing here is that at this point of time, Azure is having 54 regions more than any cloud provider. 54 regions. When you go to this particular 54 regions, so we are having the South India, Central India, and then West India. And here you have something like Australia East, and then we have this US, South Africa, and all the other places where you have these regions that are present here in this particular case. Okay. Now, when you start working with Azure, the first thing what you need to do is that you need to select the region where you want to operate your applications. You need to select the region where you want to operate your applications. Okay. So if I'm in US, I'll go and then try to use something like US East US, I'll go. If I'm in India, I'll try to go with this particular South India basically. Okay. These are the regions that you're having here because this is your global infrastructure of your Azure cloud. Okay. Now, what is this one here? A region is a geographical area on the planet contains at least one but potentially multiple data centers that are networked together. Okay. Azure intelligently assigns the resources within region to ensure that workloads are appropriately balanced. Okay. So there are some special Azure regions what you are having. What are those Azure regions here? That is US government Virginia, US government Iowa. These are all your different regions that you're having, which the public users cannot have any access into those. Public users cannot have access into those particular regions, basically. So this is what is called as a region. The moment once you go on to this one, here you have something called as the geographies. What are those geographies? So can somebody tell me whether geography is at the highest level or the region is at the highest level? Is
Geography.
geography is at the highest level. So that's why, see here, Azure divides the world into geographies. That defines the geographical boundaries or country border. Okay. And Azure geography is a discrete market typically containing 2 or more regions. Okay. The geographies are Americas, Europe, Asia Pacific, Middle East, and Africa. Middle East and Africa. This is this one what you're going to have here for this particular place here. These are your geographies what you're having, and these are the regions that we discussed. Then when you go to this one, what you're having is that availability zones you're going to have. What are these availability zones? Availability zones are the physically separate data centers within Azure region. Okay, that means that each availability zone is made up of one or more data centers equipped with independent power, cooling, and networking basically. Okay, it is an isolation boundary. This is your data center. This is your data center. Now tell me what will be there in the data center. Can anybody tell me what will be there in the data center?
Servers.
Servers, inka only servers, na?
Data of that particular region.
Everything, servers,
Data storage.
You will
storage,
be having the
process.
servers, you will be having the
Switches.
storage, you will be having
Switches.
the networking, you will be having the switches, routers, all the physical infrastructure that is really required to build your applications. All those virtual machines and everything will exist within your availability zones. What is the major reason for that availability zone? The major reason for your availability zone, what you're having here is nothing but your the major thing what you're having here is nothing but your data center. Okay, not every region has a support for availability zones. Okay, so the following regions has minimum three separate zones. Central US and Southern Asia and all these particular things has more than 2 availability zones that you're having here. So you have the geography, and within the geography, you're going to have something called as the regions, and within the regions, you're going to have this particular availability zones that exist here in this case. See here, availability zones are created with one or more data centers, and there is a minimum of 3 zones within a single region, basically. Okay. So, however, it is possible that a large enough disaster could cause an outage to affect 2 or more data centers. That's why what we do is that there will be one more thing that will be created, which is nothing but your region pairs. We need to understand what is a region pair here. Okay, suppose if you want to really understand what is a region pair, hold on. First, I'll tell you what is the region pair, and then we'll go ahead into the other things. See here, it is going to tell you something. A region pair consists of two regions within the same geography. Okay, as you can see from the image, the highest level we have Azure Geography. As we have discussed, the Azure Geography is the region where you are going to have here. What is the difference between the region pair and the availability zone? See here, unlike availability zones where we have physical separate data centers, paid regions are separated by at least 300 miles. Why they have been separated by 300 miles? Because in case if there is a disaster that happens, automatically what happens is that it will be shifted to the applications and everything will shift to the nearest region. So here you can see here. Why it is the main reason we have paid regions in this one here. It is possible that a long enough disaster could cause an outage enough to affect even two data centers. That's why the Azure creates this particular region pairs. These are all your region pairs that you're going to have here. Region and then region. So things about this means physical isolation that you're going to have. Azure prefers at least 300 miles of separation between data centers within the region pair. Okay. And one more thing, what you are having here is that platform provided replications. Some services what you are having here provide automatic replication to the paid region. And what is generally happening here in case if something is going to happen, what will be happening is that since the replication is going to happen automatically, the second region what you are having here will become the primary. That's the reason we need to create this particular region pairs in this particular case. See here, each region is paired with another region with the same geography with at least 300 miles away. Okay, this approach allows for replication of resources across the geography that helps reduce the likelihood of interruptions during the disasters. Okay, and physical outages affecting both regions at once. Okay, so we have this region pair, right? Basically, that is the way the region pairs are supposed to exist. So what is the thing that we created here? You can see here, right? We started seeing something like we have this geography. Geography is classified into these different regions. And in these particular regions, we have something like different availability zones. Is replication by default with Azure description? No. We have to opt for that subscription someday, basically. Okay, it won't see. This is the infrastructure replication that is going to happen as a default. This happens at the organization level, not at your Azure subscription level, Sandeep. Is that clear to you?
Okay, yeah, got it, sir.
Okay, so these are all your availability zones, and these availability zones are converted into these data centers that, like this here in this particular case. That's what we have discussed here. Region, we have the geography, we have these availability zones and these region pairs. Okay, now let me come back and then see what exactly is there in this Microsoft Azure portal. Come back. Okay, what I do is that we have something called as here, and then I can go to this home here. What is telling here? $200 credit is remaining, and then it is asking me to upgrade. What do you mean by this upgrade? Can anybody tell me? What is this upgrade it is asking here?
Upgrade to pay as you go.
Pay as you go.
Kalandi, initially you will be created a free trial account. Okay, once this particular once this $200 credit is expired, automatically what happens is that it will be asking you to upgrade to pay as you go subscription. Pay as you go subscription. Okay, till that particular point of time, you can have the option of utilizing these particular services. So that's why when you click on this particular home page, what you're going to have is that you're going to have something called as this all services that exist. all services. When you click on this all services, I have told you, right? There are a lot of services that you can see here. These are all your categories of the services that you are having here. What are the categories of the services? I have told you, we have something called as the compute, because this contains the processors and other things that we need to use, the virtual machines in order to, the virtual machines that we can create with respect to this computer in order to process your applications. Okay, you have something called as the databases that exist. Databases. What are these databases? These databases, what you're having here, are nothing but your Azure SQL databases. All those databases that we can create for the purpose of executing these things. Suppose when you go to these databases, you can see here Azure SQL, Cosmo DB, okay, hybrid data services, and additional data services that you're having here in this particular case here. Okay, and what I have told you here, we also have told you something like storage. Within storage, what you're having here, you're having something like disk access, storage migration, data lake storage generation 1. We have something like Azure Master Luster is there, as well as you have something like object file and block storage, what you're having here. This is the place where you can have the option of creating all your storage related objects in this particular case here. This is the storage. Then coming to this particular security, we have something like data and application security, identity and access control, infrastructure and network security, threat detection. These are all your services, what you're having here, you can see. And ultimately, what we are having is that when you take this particular migration, what you're having here, you're having something like Amazon Database, data migration service, migrate, and then you have this recovery service walls that you're having here in this particular case. The moment once you go to this analytics, is the place where you have this Databricks analysis services, data lake analytics, Power BI enabled. Along with that, you will be having something like Azure Synapse Analytics, and then data factories. These are all the things that you're going to have in this case. Big data processing, data exploration, and then real-time analytics that you're having here. Where is the place you will be spending much of your time? We'll be spending much of your time in analytics, compute, and then we'll be spending with respect to these databases. We'll be spending much of your time within this storage and security and networking. These are all the things that we are going to manage here in this particular case. So all these things, what you're having here, are nothing but your Azure related services. Azure related services. Okay, but one more thing, what you can do is that the moment once you go, you can have the option of trying to select something like app services, or else there is a question. Azure Data Factory, sir. Azure Data Factory. ADF stands for Azure Data Factory. Okay, so you can see here, these are all the popular AWS services, that Azure services that you're having here, the Data Factory and all these particular things here. Okay, now another thing what you can have is that the moment once you see here, there is something called as popular Azure services, and then you're having something called as a pop marketplace products. And then what is this marketplace? Anybody is having idea what is this marketplace?
Where we can buy all the tools and everything. Microsoft related tools. Cards, apps. App store, like an app store.
Like, let me tell you one thing.
Some of the data sets,
Some of the third-party applications, some of the third-party tools, some of the third-party servers that are not really of a Microsoft flavor. If you want to purchase and then start integrating with respect to your Microsoft Azure services, you can have the option of trying to opt for this particular marketplace. Okay, I'm able to register, give credit card information using GitHub account. Great, thanks, Prashant.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, these are all the things that we need to use basically. The moment once you see what is there in this marketplace, you can go here. This is the place where you can have the option of selling the things. This is the place where you can have the option of purchasing the things. All these things can happen in this particular place here, marketplace. This is what is your marketplace that you're having. Okay, but for much of the time, what we do is that we'll try to focus only. Suppose suppose if I want to go for something like load balancers. Load balancers are there. When I select something like load balancer and then see what are the sessions that I'm having here. Software load balancer, this is the load balancer. These are all the things that I'm going to have here. These are all the marketplace load balancers that you are seeing here in this case. Marketplace load balancers, VMware, AI Scaler, these are all the Shaka, these are all your marketplace load balancers here. Okay, so you can have the option of creating all these particular things at an extra cost. Okay, but if I want to go and then select the services which are related to my Azure thing, I can have the option of seeing these particular things here. These are all my Azure related services, what I'm having here. Okay, and one more thing is that there is something called as this dashboard that exists. The moment once you select this particular dashboard, there will be a free flow of customization of this particular dashboard that you can create. Okay, since this is the first time that we are creating, I can select this marketplace. See, I can select this one, edit. Okay, you can see this dashboard. So Aishwarya, you're seeing here, right? We are able to move this one like this. We are able to move this one like this, as well as we are able to move this one like this here. We're able to move this one. This is what is your service health, and this is what is your marketplace. This is my marketplace. Okay, I can try to save this one as hello board. I'll specify and then save this. Hello board is saved here. Okay, now when you go to your settings, what you're having is that you're having something like appearance and then startup user there. Okay, when you go to this appearance and then startup views, you can select how many things are supposed to be displayed. How many things are supposed to be displayed here in this particular case. I can have this dark, or else I can have something like dashboard that need to be displayed. I need to mention here. So I like appearance. What you can do is that you can have the option of I think you can see here. I want to have this home to be displayed, or else I want to have this particular dashboard to be displayed. When you select this particular dashboard, it is going to apply this particular change like this. It is going to apply like this. Okay, the moment once you apply these things.
So what is the use of this dashboard?
ఎందుకంటే the reason why you are having this particular dashboard is, suppose when you go to this particular home, this is the place where you can try to customize all my entities and basically. Okay, I can try to place my favorite services. I can try to customize so that they can be handy. In AWS, what we do is that we try to put them as favorites, right? You remember favorites?
Yes, on the
So that
top.
they can be
Okay,
handy. That's
okay,
the way I can have the option of creating this particular dashboard like this, basically.
okay.
I can add a service and then I can place it here basically. We'll be seeing that one basically. Okay. This is the purpose of this dashboard. A private dashboard that we can create, but obviously what you can do is that you can also have the option of going to this particular home and then see this data. These are all the different types of services that we can create here in this case. This is what is your Azure thing. So just want to let you know here, Azure, what you're having here, it is going to be based on the regions. Suppose when I want to create a resource, okay, what I want to do here, I want to create a virtual machine. So when I try to create this particular virtual machine, just for the example purpose, it is going to ask me the region. Aishwarya, is it not asking you the region here? The region where this thing has to be created here. and it is going to ask you the availability options that you're having here, and the availability zones where you want to create here, availability set and these things here, and the availability zone where you want to create here. I told you, right? Every region can have a minimum of 3 availability zones that will exist here in this particular case. So I need to create this particular machine like this. I can have the option of creating this one. So that's why trying to understand the geographical infrastructure of Azure is really important in order to make an impact in each and every case. That means that when I want to create a virtual machine, I need to have the basics, the disk, the networking, management, and all these particular things are really required in order to create this particular virtual machine here in this case. We'll be seeing all of them basically. But I hope everybody has understood the basic purpose of creating these particular services in order to make a momentum onto the next steps. Is that clear, or any questions you're having at this particular point? Kranti, are you following? Lakshmi, మీరు follow అవుతున్నారమ్మా? Prabina, and then Vinita. Are you guys following what we are doing here?
Yes, Ravi.
Ravi, I have one question.
Yeah.
So say for example, if we choose zone 1 and zone 2 for one of the particular service, in this case virtual machine, so it will be available in 2 availability zones, right?
Yeah, it will be available in 2 availability zones. Yes, sir.
Okay. So we choose that availability when a disaster happens.
We choose that availability. See here, based on your zone selection, we'll place 2 virtual machines, one each selected zone. You want to create this resource as a virtual machine scale set, which allows you to manage load balance virtual zones. This is not your region pair. This is not your region pair. Okay, depending on the number of zones, what you are selecting here, what does it mean is that instead of creating one virtual machine, it is going to create more than one virtual machine here. Sandeep, you got my point. What is
In 2 different data centers.
Yeah, one virtual machine in one data center and the second virtual machine in the second data center it is going to create. Okay, and then what it is going to do is that it is going to establish a network between that one to make sure that if your load is going to be more, what it does is that it will try to distribute that load across those 2 virtual machines basically. You understand what I'm saying? If I mention 3, it means something like you'll be creating 3 virtual machines here in this particular case.
Okay, so 3 virtual machines in 3 different zones will act for one of the request from user.
Ante, yeah, one of the requests from the user. Exactly. Only one user, more than one user also as well. More than, when you have created a web server, okay, when you have created a web server, okay, if millions of requests are coming from your web server, what happens here? One instance will not be sufficient, right?
Yes.
In such a case, you'll be using those 2 instances also as well in order to scale up that one basically. Okay, if these 3 are not sufficient, when you want to scale these load balance virtual machines, we create this VMSS we need to create, which you'll be seeing at a later point of time. That is what is called as this virtual machine scale set. Okay, while you're creating one virtual machine, it is always better to limit yourself into only one zone basically in this case. Is that clear to you?
Yes, Ravi.
Okay, that's what we do here in this case. See, my only request is today I want everyone to create this free trial account by specifying your identity as a phone, and the second thing is by providing your credit card details, and then create that particular free trial account and then log into this particular Azure portal. This is not a rocket science, and I think everybody can do that one. So can anybody tell me how many people have done this free trial account so far? I would like to appreciate them. Just
I have completed, Ravi.
Huh?
I have completed.
Inka?
Srikanth have done.
I have completed it, Ravi.
Srikanth is done, Madhu is done, Lakshmi Harshita, you have done fabulous, and Prashant is done, and who else?
Kranti. I have also completed.
Nita is done. I want everybody to do this one, basically. I want everyone to do this one. Yeah. Ramakrishna is done. అందరూ డన్ అని పెట్టారని చెప్పి అందరూ డన్ పెట్టేస్తున్నారు. జస్ట్ కిడింగ్. 1 month already completed. Okay. Got it, sir. Thank you. Okay. So just to review the things what we have done so far, we started with the cloud computing. Okay. We started with cloud computing. We have seen the features of cloud computing. We have seen what is infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and then what is other service?
Software as a service.
Software as a service.
Software as a service we have seen. And what else we have seen? What are the 3 types of cloud deployment models you are having? Cloud deployment models?
Public, private, and
Hybrid.
See here, these are all the things that I'm just quickly reviewing the things what has really happened, and you can take it from there basically. Okay, hold on please. See here, we started with all these things. We started with this cloud computing, whatever you are having here, as well as we started with the virtual machine, the virtual private server, shared hosting, and then what are the major services that we are talking about? The compute, the storage, the networking, the database, and the security. These are all the major services that we are going to have here. And then I talked about what is this Microsoft, and then I told about what is this Azure. This is bright blue color of the cloudless sky. Lakshmi, tomorrow if I'm going to ask you what is this Azure, the meaning is bright blue color of the cloudless sky. Okay, these cloud service providers are called as CSPs. Okay, then we talked about the benefits of cloud computing in terms of what exactly are these things. Then types of cloud computing is SaaS, PaaS, and then IaaS we have seen, and then the differences between on-premise infrastructure platform and then software as a service. What is this private cloud, public cloud, and then hybrid cloud we have seen. Then what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages? The thumbs up what you are seeing here are nothing but the advantages. The thumbs down what you are seeing here are nothing but your disadvantages basically. Okay, whatever you have seen are nothing but your disadvantages. Now we also started seeing something like cross clouds also as well, multi-cloud providers or the hybrid clouds. Then we started seeing something like capex and opex. Lakshmi, when you have something like capital expenditure, that means that you have this capital expenditure, which are nothing but the initial budget that you spend. Operational expenditure means the subscription fee that you pay as you go is nothing but your operational expenditure in this particular case. Okay. Then we started about what is the difference between capex and opex we have seen. Then the cloud technology, the elasticity, the scalability and availability we have seen. Then no single point of failure we talked about. Then scaling up and scaling out, horizontal scaling and vertical scaling we have seen. Then scaling out and scaling also we have seen here basically. Then high fault tolerant, that is nothing but your primary and secondary things what you have seen here. Then we started about dedicated machines. Then we talked about virtual machines. We didn't talk about something called as containers, but we talked about something called as functions. What are those functions? That is nothing but the concept of your serverless compute we have told. Can somebody define what is this serverless compute that we are talking here? What is this serverless compute?
We just write
Writing the code in Notepad and submitting to the cloud provider to take care of that to process it.
Yeah. What we do is that we just create the code. Okay. The moment we just create the code, the moment once we submit the code, then only the infrastructure will be taken into consideration for the purpose of running them. Okay, I have told you, right? It is nothing but an event management thing. You have the money and don't bother about anything. You go to the marriage, the bride and the bridegroom will go to that destination wedding. They do that celebration, that rituals they perform, and then they come out. And everything else will be taken care of by this event management. That is what is stated as this serverless compute basically. Okay, we have seen this serverless compute, and then I told you about this geographical infrastructure, which is regions, availability zones, and other parts of the network that we need to have here in this particular case. Okay. Then we have these availability zones. Then we started like 54 regions. We talked about this. What is the region? So, guys, Vinita, have you not seen something like what is a region in the while you are creating that virtual machine? We have seen that what is a region, right? We have also seen something like what is the availability zone also as well. We have seen. Then we have the special Azure regions we talked about. We talked about something like geographies. We talked about the availability zones. Then we talked about something like region pairs. We'll be discussing in detail in the region pairs in the next class. But the most important thing that we need to have is 58 regions in 140 countries. We have seen this one. This is US East, and then Norway West. We can see this is your regions and geographies. Then we talked about the 1 minute. I'll tell you. We talk about this availability zone. This is the place where all your physical data centers are present here. And these people are nothing but your infrastructure people who will be working day and night in order to make sure that all your services are up and running all the time. Okay. Then we talked about 1 minute. I just want to see here. These are all the things that we are going to start from tomorrow. What are your computing services? Till now, we started with this Azure Virtual Machine. We'll be talking about this Azure Virtual Machine, Azure Functions, Azure Batches. We'll be talking about. We'll be creating them. Then we go to the storage services. We'll talk about this, which is important. Azure Blob Storage is which is really important. It is something like S3 Ravikumar. Okay. We'll be talking about this Azure Blob Storage. And then we'll also talk about this Azure Data Lake Storage also as well, which is nothing but your ADL. We talk about this database services, Cosmo DB and SQL database will be seeing here. And Synapse Analytics, which is nothing but your Azure Data Warehouse will be seeing. And then Azure Database Migration Service will be talking about. There will be something like analytical services, what I have told you, right? What are those analytical services, what we are talking about? Can anybody tell me what are those analytical services?
Databricks, Data Factory, Synapse Analytics.
Factory, ETL tool, synopsis.
All the ETL aspects. When you go to your all services here, when you go to this all services, you can see something like there will be a type of service called as the analytical services. Much of our 90% of our time is going to be spent, where is this analytics here? Much of our time is going to be spent within this one here. The analysis services, the data lakes, okay, the data lake analytics, and then we are going to have something like where is this data factory here?
It's on top.
The data factories, and then you have these Azure Databricks. These are all the things that we are going to use in order to make sure of all these particular things. Okay, this is the way that we are going to do. So as I promised, we made into this Azure portal, and then we are able to see this particular interface. We have seen something called as this marketplace also as well. Please kindly go on. We have seen something called as this Azure marketplace also as well. And then we have also seen, the different types of services that we want to use in order to spin up the things. We have seen, and we have seen what is the difference between this upgrade thing, what you have seen, and then what is your $200 free trial account that you have here, and what is this pay as you go subscription we have seen here, basically. Okay, all these things we'll be starting seeing from tomorrow in order to have a perfect end-to-end platform, and then we'll be taking from there. Okay, so I still have some 5 to 10 minutes of time. I know there are some newcomers. Aishwarya is a newcomer, Lakshmi is a newcomer, and who else are new today? Who else are new today? Nagmani, you are there, right? Since from the beginning?
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah. Jay Kumar, you are there. Aishwarya is there. Yeah, Venkat. These are all the people. So So basically, one thing I want you to do is that today we are talking on December 12th. Okay. At least by January 12th, you need to start focusing on your at least one, what is that one? AZ 900 certification you are supposed to complete. You're supposed to complete. Take it as a target. Take it as a target. Okay. So if Nagmani, can you please tell in your own words what is the objective of this particular course, what is going to be covered, and what is the expected job role and the skill set that you are supposed to get once this course is completed? Can you please briefly tell your understanding?
Um, So, as I told you in earlier, so I'm completely from the testing background. So I just joined for this to change, switch my career to into Databricks. So, as my understanding is, I mean, I'm able to understand what is, I mean, started understanding the things, basic structure and all you're explaining, and I'm expecting the roles of into any kind. I mean, any data. There is your data factory kind of roles in this structure, right? So we have a lot of roles in the. We can get a lot of roles by completing the entire course. So I can grab any one of the role uh, after completing this. This is my expectation from this course.
So, as after completing this particular course, you will have the very good opportunity of trying to transform yourself as a data engineer, as a data analyst, and then a pro to data scientist or a machine learning engineer. These are all the things that you're going to focus. Okay.
Yeah.
These are all the things that you're going to focus. Okay. Vinita, you are clear, right? What you are doing here? Vinita?
Yes, I'm clear.
Prabina? Prabina, is this your first class? Pranay, you're following, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with this, what we do is that tomorrow we'll come back, okay, and then start looking into the various aspects of the categories of the services what you're having, and then we'll start trying to create the first virtual machine in order to you'll be able to grab it, sir, basically. Shravan Kumar Reddy garu. Yes. I don't expect any coding to be known to you. Okay. The only thing what I want is that some database knowledge is really required. Even if you don't have the database knowledge also as well, that should be okay to complete this particular course, to excel in this particular career also as well. Don't worry, you are covered and you are in good hands. Okay.
So Ravi, there is one more question from my side.
Yes.
Like I am also from data warehousing background, so I don't have any coding knowledge, right? So, but as you said, there is no coding knowledge required, and we can easily grab the coding whatever you will be sharing because that will be as a part of template, right?
Yes.
But going forward, like whenever we are going to be appearing in the interview, all or like wherever I see the data engineer requirement or the job description, everywhere they ask for one of the coding as the expertise.
ఇప్పుడు వినీత దీంట్లో మనం వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు లర్న్ పైథాన్.
Okay.
We are going to learn Python with Spark, which is PySpark. Anedi will be learning and will be implementing that one also as well.
So will we be able to grab everything without the coding experience?
There are only two things that I can tell you. You trust me, I'll make you perfect in that programming part. Basically, scripting part, not programming part. Scripting part, you'll be good. You'll
Okay.
be.
Okay.
And then,
Sounds good.
and then I'll make you a good pro in that PySpark. Believe me.
Okay.
What more you want me to commit? You tell me, ma'am. I'll do whatever you want to make sure that you are good in data engineering and data analyst. I'll try to make whatever is possible in order to make it happen. I'll do it for sure.
Yeah, definitely looking forward.
Yeah, we'll do that one. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Ravigar, Azure Synapse is like Redshift only, right?
అవునండి. Yeah, that is like
Okay.
yeah. ఇంతకుముందు దాన్ని SQL డేటా వేర్‌హౌస్ అనేవాళ్ళు. దాన్ని ఇప్పుడు సినాప్స్ కింద మార్చారు అంతా వాళ్ళు. So I'll conclude today and we'll meet tomorrow with uh, with a couple of concepts that are really required. Okay, and then we'll start, if possible, spinning some virtual machine with respect to Azure. Whoever have not completed that Azure free trial account creation with the credit card and everything, please let me know. Please let me know. Or please try to take the help of the people and then do that one. It is not a rocket science. It is just easy as mentioning your name, email address, ID information, address, and all those things. And then you get created, and then you should be here from tomorrow onwards. That is what is the expectation. Okay. Okay, so please continue to do the good learning what you're doing, and then we'll take it from tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much for keeping the trust and interest and passion on this particular course. I'm telling you once again, this journey is really going to be a very good, exciting one. Okay, you will never be disappointed with me. Okay, and then I'll make this journey more comfortable to make sure that you try to shift your careers. Okay, as well as you will be excelling in your career profile from what you have been earlier to what you are going to be there in 2024. I'll be helping you to realize those particular goals. Okay, thank you so much, and then see you tomorrow same day.